How's it going, everyone? This is Winbo. Today we are going to do a quick Blender tutorial regarding modeling. So this is basically what we're trying to do, just this top cap. As you can see, some of the cosmetic products having this type of a shape as their product design. So we're going to do this. The rest of the body is pretty simple to model, and most people know how to do that for cylinder. That's why we are going to targeting on this particular part, how to do that. So I'm just kind of hide this and actually start with a reference image. So you can download this reference image somewhere have similar shape. So I'm just gonna do a Shift A, adding a empty with the image, and we are going to align to the view so it directly facing to us. So what we can do here, we're gonna go to this tab, and it's called Object Data Property. So we're gonna hit Open to find that the reference image. Okay, so that's the one. Nope, that's not the one. Here's the one, the reference image right here. So we have this reference image right here. So we have a profile shape. That's all we need. Then what I can do here, I'm gonna check this opacity, kind of make it this number a little bit lower in order to see it better. Okay, cool. So we are ready to go. Let's hit Shift or right click so we can actually move the cursor over here to when we add a cylinder, it'll be easier to start. So Shift A, let's do a cylinder right here. And as you can see here, the vertices I chose 32, it's pretty high. You can do whatever number you want. I'm just going to want to use this one. It's easier to show you guys. I just prefer a little bit more vertices to work with. Okay, so cool. So I just moved this thing a little bit and then hit the tab mode, hit Alt Z to kind of go into the X-ray mode. I'm actually going to S scale. I'm trying to match this loops with that. So grab that, G, Z, and maybe to the X a little bit. Well, actually need to hit S, scale up a little bit. Grab X. Yeah, these are small details, but I certainly think it's worth the time to really let you guys to know how I work with this. And okay, next thing we're gonna do, we actually match the loops over here. So what we were going to do next is, I've seen some people doing the top ones is actually cutting vertices out in order to get more geometries, but I think I found a way to do the better way. Just kind of the top face is one single face is ngong, so we definitely don't want that, but we want to have a lot of four edges face. So it's like what do you call that? Quads, exactly. So what I could do here, we're gonna hit the X, and then we're gonna delete only face. Okay, after that, then we're gonna select the entire loops, and we're gonna use Control F to grid fill. Okay, so and as you can see here, here's quickly we have something going on here on the sidebar, but without doing anything. If you directly jump to do something else, this thing is gonna be closed. So you can actually change the shape of how this thing is going to look. So I'm actually thinking 8 should be fine, the grid. So we can actually just select 8 vertices, do that from the top view. I try to wanna having this thing that looks the same from the top side to the bottom side. So maybe we can change some number to see if we can get this thing right. If not, this looks about right. 6 looks about right, because I really want to later on to using the mirror modifier to modify this thing in half. So okay, so that's a good start. So that's enough geometries. So we are going to do the next thing. We are going to go to the Alt Z X-ray mode. So we're gonna select this top vertices, and then we're gonna hit R to kind of rotate it. Yeah, and then you're gonna drag here. So we actually need to just drag over here because we are going to do the shapes later on. So I'm still matching this. And later on to using proportion editings to do that. So after doing that, I'm gonna do Control I to select the bottom edge and hit H to hide them. The reason why, because I'm going to use the proportion editings. I really don't want to mess with the other geometries. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to select the really top one, the center, okay? And then we are going to hit O to turn on this proportion editings, but making sure we are going to select to the sphere. Usually the default is smooth, but we want to use that in order to achieve this curve. Okay, so after we select that, we're just gonna grab it and drag. Okay. Okay, it has kind of similar shapes going on here now. And then we can just select the entire thing. We can even hit S and Z to kind of make it a little bit flatter, and then we can just turn it around to kind of modify the shape. Right? It's not going to be exactly matches, but you got my point. It takes time to really match that shape. And then after that, general ideas for this top shape is already finished. So we're probably going to need to kind of change these two vertices to move up a little bit, and these guys as well. And grab and turn off the proportion editing, hit the Q and just hit grab and Z. Just let them pop up a little bit to match this curve. So now I think it looks pretty nice. Okay, and then we can hit Alt H to unhide everything else, so we can have some good geometry to start work with. So select the top part, just kind of drag it, turn it. Okay, so for this one, now as you can see here, this part is supposed to be a little bit, this ending point is supposed to be here, and then we can extrude a certain part coming out. So what we can do next is we're going to select this vertex, and then we hit O again to turn on the proportion editings. We can just change that to the smooth, and let's hit G and grab that. As you can see here, I don't want to grab it like this. No, I just want to making sure this vertex is like point straight down in here. You know what I mean? This is like similar. So I'm gonna grab that again to making sure this looks okay. Okay, yeah, so sure. So this one looks pretty good now. And the next thing I'm going to do is, because you can see here, here's a curve going on here. And we definitely need more geometries in order to have this curve going on. So what I will do next is I'm actually going to use Control R, adding a lot of loop cut. So I think this should be fine. And then I'm just going to kind of like to modify these curves, loops, to actually forming this curves going on right here. So the best way probably you're gonna do is still using proportion editings in here, and but we want really protecting the top side of this vertices. So I'm thinking to kind of select this thing, and then using a similar way to hide them. So just select these, holding Shift, and we are going to hide these and hit H to hide them. And then the next thing we're going to do, just kind of select the one single vertices and hit G to grab that. Yeah, you're just trying to kind of fix that curvature is going on here. And then this guy, and select this one, we can do something about it. And the next thing, this is the majority of the things get it done. You see, we have a surface curvature. Then what we can do with next is we can just kind of drag and slide, and they're really getting some vertices coming out. So we're gonna turn off the proportion editing again, just hit the O again. So we're just gonna hit double G. Oh, actually we can just select a bunch of these together and do a double G to slide, okay? Just giving them more rooms down here to actually looks better. Double G to slide right here. can see here. It can be a little bit tedious, but it certainly that's something that we need to be aware and do a good job on that. So G, this one, because this is a very central one, so we can just simply grab it. Okay. So this one need to be slide, double G, and this one we can just grab it. Yeah. G, double G, grab it, slide. We're trying to have a little bit even shape going on here. Should be fine, but I'm trying to show you how the things get done. As you can see here, something get moved. If I'm going to the side view, so you can see here, these 3 vertices supposed to be on the same one. So I'm just gonna select all these and then hit the scale Y0, so we can match that. And or I can just grab this guy and double G to slide back to here, and it should be fine. To be safe, just do a scale Y0. Okay, so now it's in the center now. So next thing what I'm going to do is unheighting the other part. So I'm gonna hit Alt H to get everything back. So it seems like we got something going on here in a good shape. You see, we get some basic shape done. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to actually building the nozzle part. So next thing, I'm just simply gonna turn off this reference image by now and hit number 3 to select this faces, and then we're gonna go to the side view and turn on the reference image. I'm gonna do extrusion, so hit E, I hit X here, and then I'm going to actually hit S and X0 to really make this thing flat. Okay, S, X0, yes, and then I'm gonna go to the Alt Z to go to the X-ray mode and hit S to scale it down. I can grab that. See, it's going on, it's doing pretty well. So hit the number 1, so I'm just do some minor adjustment to making sure this curvature looks nice and even fit in here. As you can see here, we are noticing these 3 vertices are not aligned together, so I'm going to do something to adjusting these. So select all these, hit S and Z0 to make them all together, aligned together. Same thing here, S, Z, 0. Okay, so now as you can see here, it's much better. It's like a square shape. So I'm gonna select the entire loops and hit the double G to kind of slide up a little bit, because I really want to have a better, a great look of these faces. So hit 3 and select the entire these 4 faces and hit I to insert just tiny bit, and then hit I again to insert that. And then next thing, we're going to go to the top view, hit Alt Z to the X-ray mode. I'm going to extrude in, hit E and X down here. I can even put it a bit down there and hit another E, X, try to be safe on that. So as you can see here, turning off that reference, we are doing pretty good. This is the shape of the stuff that we want. And the next thing we are going to do is we are going to adding a subsurface modifier. We can do Control 2. So you can see this whole thing. It looks very nice and smooth now. And we can do shape smooth and make it look nice. And then we definitely can adding a loop cut down here to tighten it up in here. So as you can see here, this is pretty nice top already we're made. And the geometry here, because we are building the way everything is quad, so it's much easier just kind of modified. And if you can do a lot of small things, so adding more details on it. So you can so for this one, if you want to have a little bit sharper edge, you can certainly add a loop cut. I mean, a bevel. So we're gonna hit Alt and select this. Hit Alt Shift, select this loop. That's the advantage of good topology. So basically, you can do a lot of modification on that. So after we select the entire loops, we're gonna hit Control B to just bevel. And then when you see bevel, you can do a lot of stuff. So usually I want to do number 3 on that. What that means is when I do that, the pop window is gonna see how many bevels on here, and you can see how many segments down here. So right now it's set the 2 segments, basically like a 3 loop cut. So 3 edges, so it works the best for me. So if it's coming out, beautiful, done, right? Yes, it's not something difficult. And also, of course, for this guy, on the nozzle part, we can even add in a loop cut, kind of getting more geometries if you want to. Okay, same here. You can hit Control R to adding something in here, just giving a little bit nicer look and shape. And even here, you can actually adding bevel things into making this profile looks better, or something like you want to do to kind of changing in case there are products actually having some special curvatures that you can adjust that. And if you hit O, you actually can kind of modify the entire part of that. Okay, so basically for this tutorial, I just want to show you how these things get done, and also how this problem solving process, that how I see this thing. So once you have built something like this, you can modify it, you can do a lot of different things. You can even save this mesh, you can use on a further future project easily. You don't need to go through the entire process to do that, but definitely you can do a lot of different things with it. You can see this here is more like triangle, but this is more like square. You have all the control, and yeah, I think this is about it. Thank you for your watching, and I'm really hoping this tutorial is helpful. If you're really into some product, photorealistic product rendering, please consider subscribing my channel, and we can always hang out on Instagram. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.